It's here. The shift we've been sensing has finally arrived. The brightest and largest full moon has risen, and with it, a massive portal just opened. This isn't just another supermoon, it's the final one of the cycle, and the strongest yet. Most people have no clue what they just went through. But if you've been feeling everything lately, without trying to force anything, then yes, this message is probably for you. Because what follows isn't subtle, it's unmistakable. And whether you realize it or not, you're already in the middle of it. Everyone is. This wave didn't drift in gently, it dropped like a thunderclap. Even people who don't believe in energy or spirituality felt the shift ripple through their lives. You'll notice it in strange mood swings, bold choices, sudden awakenings, or people acting completely unlike themselves. But this isn't chaos, it's activation. When the collective frequency rises, awareness spreads fast, and even those who never asked for awakening start catching it like wildfire. The difference is, not everyone understands what they're feeling. Many just sense something's changed and can't explain why. But for those who've been walking this path for years, those who stayed awake when everyone else went back to sleep, this moment hits differently, deeply. If you've been doing the inner work for a long time, you already feel it. This moon doesn't just radiate power, it amplifies every quiet act of growth you've done when no one was watching. Every time you chose peace over reaction. Every time you showed up for yourself without applause. Every time you grew when it would have been easier to give up. There's a kind of tiredness only old souls understand. Not exhaustion, but that sacred fatigue that comes from dying and being reborn over and over again, from rebuilding yourself through every storm. That's the level this moon touches. It doesn't motivate beginners, it honors the veterans, the ones who didn't chase trends or spiritual highs, the ones who lived the practice when it was hard, thankless, lonely, the ones who didn't need proof because they became the proof. This moon recognizes that. It sees the discipline you built in silence, the moments you held your tongue, not from weakness, but from wisdom. Real spiritual strength isn't forged in peace. It's formed in the moments life felt unfair and you still chose growth. But don't think this energy excludes anyone. If someone's just waking up now, they're not behind. They're right on schedule, catching the wave at its highest. Still, those who have held the line for years, who stayed steady through doubt, through shadow, through silence, they're about to receive something different. This isn't hierarchy, it's energetic reciprocity. The universe always rewards consistency, and this moon multiplies it, not through wishful thinking, but through real momentum, clearer purpose, sharper intuition. You were never early, you were simply aligned. And alignment always pays its dues. This isn't another test, this is acknowledgement. It's life saying, I saw what you did when nobody else did. And now, it's your time. Because what this moon opens for you will ripple into everything that comes next. This final super moon doesn't whisper, it doesn't nudge, it shakes the walls of your inner world. It's not here to inspire. It's here to reveal. It gathers every unfinished lesson, every ending, every hesitation, every instinct you ignored, and brings it into crystal clarity. This isn't emotional overflow, it's spiritual exposure. Anything you've been avoiding is now illuminated. Everything you've been quietly building, it's magnified. Any reality you've postponed stepping into, it's right in front of you. The universe doesn't repeat lessons, it just turns up the volume until you can't ignore them. Think of this as a spiritual megaphone, not chaotic noise, but undeniable truth. Not confusion, but clarity that can't be silenced. Suddenly, what never made sense clicks. What never felt urgent becomes unavoidable. The thing you've been putting off. It now feels like destiny saying, "Enough waiting. Move." The power of this moon isn't in what it gives. It's in what it strips away. It removes excuses. And the reason this moon carries the name Beaver Moon isn't random. It's symbolic. It marks the moment instinct takes over. The moment builders stop floating and start constructing. Not through forced effort or burnout, but through calm certainty. That inner knowing that it's time to shape your reality, not chase it. This moon awakens the grounded creator within you, the part that organizes, plans, and protects what truly matters. You might feel this urge to clean, to structure, to focus, not because something's wrong, but because your system knows it's time. This isn't frantic energy, it's mature, methodical, precise. It's the energy of alignment, not adrenaline. You'll start reevaluating where your energy goes, who you give your attention to, and what actually deserves your time. You'll realize that being busy was never the goal. Being aligned was. This supermoon carries the fire of action, but none of the chaos. It's about stability over spectacle. It's not waiting for signs. It's becoming one. You'll feel drawn to invest more into your health, your routines, your discipline, your foundation. This is the builder frequency, the energy of structure, of lasting change. Because real spirituality isn't escaping the world. It's constructing a life so aligned, you don't need an escape. If you've felt scattered lately, expect that fog to lift. Suddenly, you'll see your next steps with startling precision. This is identity rebirth, brick by brick, choice by choice. And here's the most powerful part. You won't feel rushed, you'll feel rooted. Every move you make now carries weight and longevity. This isn't about emotional waves, it's about identity taking form. This moon shines a spotlight not on your future self, but on your default self, the version that reacts instead of responds, the version that moves from habit instead of intention. You'll start catching yourself mid-thought, mid-reaction, watching your old patterns instead of being trapped inside them. That's awareness, not judgment. You'll begin to understand why you hold back, why you settle, why you keep certain doors closed. It's not dramatic, it's surgical, quiet, sharp, and revealing. This moon doesn't come to trigger you. It comes to show you what's been driving you unconsciously. And once you see it, it loses control over you. Suddenly, you're not reacting, you're choosing. You're not running on autopilot, you're rewriting your code. You're not fighting your old self, you're graduating from it. Some people will feel uneasy tonight, not because they're breaking down, but because they're waking up to patterns they thought were gone. Old habits may reappear, not as setbacks, but as checkpoints, to prove you've truly evolved. Growth isn't about outrunning who you used to be. It's about out-choosing them, over and over, until the new you becomes the only version left standing. And that is what this final supermoon is all about. And the instant you truly see that old default version of yourself, something profound clicks. Those habits that once controlled you lose their grip. They're no longer your reality, just faint echoes of who you've already outgrown. Then life begins to stir in strange, familiar ways. People reappear, memories resurface, timelines cross again. But this isn't nostalgia or random coincidence, it's cosmic precision. When the final supermoon hits, it reactivates threads you thought were long severed, not to pull you back, but to help you finish what was left incomplete, the lessons you avoided, the energy you never fully released. If someone suddenly reached out, crossed your path, or appeared in your dreams, don't dismiss it. The universe never replays without purpose. This isn't about rekindling the past. It's about closing spiritual accounts that were left open. You might see someone apologize, reappear, or linger in thought for no reason at all. But the emotion is different this time. There's no longing, no drama, just quiet resolution. You might feel nothing, or a subtle sense of completion that doesn't need words. That's not regression, that's energetic reconciliation. This moon calls in old soul contracts like overdue books, ready to be returned, balanced, released. Some people show up to return the energy you once gave. Others come to help you set a boundary you never could before. Some arrive simply so you can finally let them go without resentment. Whether you respond or remain silent doesn't matter. What matters is the internal click when your higher self handles what your wounded self used to carry. Not everyone returns to stay. Some appear only so you can walk away cleanly. And here's the part most miss. Sometimes you're the one who re-enters someone's life as their mirror, their turning point, their karmic checkpoint. Soul contracts aren't always emotional or grand. Sometimes they're subtle, almost invisible. A text, a thought, a memory. You're not moving backward. You're clearing energetic space for what's next. The universe doesn't recycle for torture. It replays what you're finally strong enough to face without breaking. This is where the energy gets brutally real. No more spiritual performance, no inflated identities, no hiding behind positivity to avoid accountability. The last supermoon cuts through all of that. It refuses denial, disguised as awakening. For many, it feels like a massive reality check, not because the universe is cruel, but because truth has outgrown their comfort zones. It exposes the difference between peace and avoidance, compassion and codependence, awakening and escapism. If you've been using spirituality to dodge hard truths, this energy will find you. If you've been calling denial intuition, you'll feel it. If you've been pretending you've healed when one memory still shakes you, this moon brings that truth to the surface. It shows where your growth is authentic and where it's decorative. You don't ascend by pretending you're above being human. You ascend by meeting your humanity honestly. And this is liberation, not punishment. Illusion is heavy, and pretending to be more evolved than you are is exhausting. When the truth hits, it's not to break you, it's to free you. It clears space for real alignment, real strength, real peace. This moon doesn't strip away illusions to humiliate you. It does so to reveal your true power. You don't lighten by avoiding truth. You lighten by facing it and realizing it never owned you. The ones who thrive in this energy aren't the ones claiming perfection. They're the ones humble enough to admit, I'm still learning. That humility is evolution, and this moon honors evolution, not ego. So if things feel intense right now, don't resist. Observe. That clarity isn't closure, it's initiation. It's your permission to step into the version of yourself that doesn't need pretending. Not who you think you should be, who you really are. Sometimes transformation doesn't come with thunder. It slips in quietly until one morning you wake up and realize you no longer belong to the spaces you once tolerated. This supermoon sparked that kind of shift, silent but absolute. Suddenly, you can't fake enthusiasm where your soul feels dumb. You try to fit into old patterns, and they feel empty. You attempt to force old conversations, and they fall flat. You didn't lose connection. You outgrew the frequency that held it. There's a difference, and that difference can feel like sadness, not because you miss your old life, but because you finally see it for what it was: survival, not expansion. It's not nostalgia, it's clarity. You realize comfort was stagnation in disguise. Familiarity was fear, dressed as loyalty. And in that realization, you understand. You weren't stuck because you couldn't move forward. You were stuck because you didn't want to abandon the version of you that fought so hard to keep everything together. Growth doesn't always sparkle. Sometimes it feels like mourning the life you no longer fit into. So if you feel sadness, emptiness, disconnection, it's not loss. It's space being cleared. It's freedom adjusting inside you. Trying to go back now will feel impossible, like stepping into a room that no longer has air. The laughter won't land. The routines won't soothe. The patterns won't hold you. Because you've outgrown them. You didn't lose who you were. You just remembered who you were always meant to become. Not because your world got harder, but because you became sharper. When a portal closes behind you, the only direction that still feels alive is forward. You're not uneasy because you're lost. You're uneasy because your evolution refuses to let you shrink anymore. This moon whispers, no more pretending, no more almost, no more going back to what you've already mastered just to feel safe. That old chapter isn't broken, it's simply finished. Now your energy only recognizes what's real. Everything that isn't aligned fades into quiet where there used to be noise. The subtle ache of spiritual growth is this. Right before everything aligns, it can feel like you've fallen out of sync. You might think you're behind, watching life move for everyone else but you. But this supermoon didn't throw you off track. It put you on the right one. It didn't delay your path. It protected you from building a future that wasn't truly yours. Feeling drained, uncertain, or uninspired isn't failure, it's recalibration. When life pauses you, it's almost never punishment, it's preparation. Most breakthroughs are disguised as breakdowns when seen too early. This moon didn't come to push you faster, it came to slow you down, long enough to notice what actually belongs. We think alignment feels like momentum and confidence, but often it feels like stillness while everything around you rearranges. You're not being stalled, you're being redirected, saved from spending years chasing what was never meant for you. If you feel out of rhythm, remember, the universe never rushes realignment. When you're being rewired, you don't accelerate, you release, you detach from false timelines. You stop feeding what only served your ego. You stop craving validation and start craving resonance. And yes, that shift can feel quiet, lonely, even confusing, but that's because you're moving from chasing to receiving, from forcing to flowing, from seeking to seeing. You're not behind. You're not late. You're right in the middle of that sacred discomfort where the old direction dissolves and the new one begins. Life isn't asking you to move faster, it's asking you to trust deeper. Because sometimes slowing down is how the universe upgrades your next chapter. One that deserves a calmer, wiser version of you. This supermoon didn't shake you apart. It shook you into alignment. It grounded you into the path that finally mirrors your soul, your growth, your truth. You didn't lose momentum. You found meaning. And once this energy stabilizes, movement will return. But this time, it'll be guided, supported, unmistakably yours. You are not behind. You're right on the schedule your soul designed. And it's only now starting to reveal itself. There's a special kind of mental current with this moon, not chaotic, but charged. It's as if your thoughts aren't just running, they're reorganizing. If your mind feels busy, fast, layered, that's not confusion, it's evolution under the surface. Something old is shifting. to make space for what's next. You're not losing clarity, you're expanding into awareness your old self couldn't hold. People talk about emotional tides during a full moon, but this one moves your mind. It's mental tectonics, the subtle but powerful reshaping of thought. Ideas once impossible suddenly feel inevitable. Things that once felt certain now tremble. You may feel surges of drive followed by deep stillness. That's not regression, it's transition. Your subconscious is clearing out what no longer fits. Sometimes the noise in your head isn't chaos, it's pressure from growth. You've outgrown your old identity, and the edges are cracking. That discomfort isn't failure, it's expansion pressing through the surface. Confusion isn't being lost, it's the sound of your old limits collapsing. Memories resurface, not to haunt you, but to be healed by your current wisdom. You start questioning your values, your direction, even your relationships, not because you're unstable, but because your foundation is deepening. This is a psychological earthquake, not destruction, but reconstruction. Old beliefs don't fade quietly, they rumble before they go. And those impulsive thoughts or sudden insights, they're truths that have been waiting to speak. You don't need to act on every idea right now, but notice them. They're showing you where the cracks were. Your mind isn't falling apart. It's rearranging itself for clarity that hasn't fully arrived yet. And when the dust clears, you'll realize you never lost control. You just outgrew the version of yourself that once needed to hold it so tightly. Some moons just illuminate the night, but this one reshapes timelines. Its energy lingers, rewriting choices, reactions, and connections in ways you'll only recognize months from now. The next 48 hours carry a strange kind of precision. Small decisions feel heavier. Quiet realizations echo louder. You might feel an urge to begin, to release, to confess, to finally commit to what's been circling you for months. That's not pressure. That's alignment demanding recognition. This isn't about acting fast. It's about responding truthfully. Over the coming days, conversations will cut deeper. Instincts will sharpen. Timing will feel intentional. Someone you speak to might turn out to matter more than you know. A single choice could alter your path more than expected. A sign, an opportunity, a feeling, one that refuses to be ignored. This isn't superstition, it's momentum, and momentum remembers where it's meant to take you. Sometimes, when life redirects you, it doesn't announce it with fireworks. It comes softly, disguised as exhaustion, silence, or a strange emptiness that pulls you inward. You stop feeling inspired by what once fueled you. The conversations that used to excite you start feeling hollow. The things that once felt like goals now feel like cages. That's not depression, that's detachment. It's the soul's quiet way of saying, this is no longer who we are. And during this supermoon, that message gets amplified. The light doesn't just hit the earth, it hits you. It exposes what's been dimmed by distraction, denial, or duty. The truth rises from the cracks. You start seeing yourself with no filters, no roles, no expectations, just essence, just energy. The universe doesn't take things from you out of cruelty. It clears space for what's next. So when something falls apart under this moon, it's because it no longer matches your vibration. That job, that person, that dream, maybe it served its purpose already. Maybe it taught you what you needed, and now it's time to evolve beyond it. The supermoon's light is honest. It doesn't lie to make you comfortable. It reveals to make you whole. And right now, it's calling you back to your own frequency, the one before you were conditioned to shrink. This phase is not about finding more. It's about remembering more, remembering your strength, your clarity, your power to create instead of chase. Many people confuse stillness with stagnation, but stillness is sacred. It's the moment the soil rests before the seed breaks open. It's the pause before the heartbeat returns stronger. It's the inhale before divine timing exhales through your life. So if you feel like nothing's happening, look closer. Something is happening, but it's happening within. Your alignment is being rebuilt from the inside out. Your energy field is retuning itself to match what's next. Every delay right now carries hidden precision. Every quiet day is preparing you for momentum that won't need to be forced. The universe isn't ignoring you. It's rearranging everything to fit the version of you that finally knows what it wants. This moon's vibration is demanding authenticity, and that's why you can't fake your way through this phase anymore. If something doesn't resonate, your body rejects it. If a person drains your energy, your spirit pulls away. If a habit keeps you small, it starts feeling unbearable. That's evolution. That's clarity. That's what growth feels like when it stops being poetic and starts being real. You're not becoming someone new. You're becoming someone true. And sometimes that truth requires shedding the versions of you that learn to survive instead of shine. The nights might feel heavier now, your dreams more vivid, your emotions unpredictable. That's the moon moving through the deepest layers of your consciousness, unlocking memories, fears, patterns, and possibilities. It's not chaos, it's cleansing. This is the emotional detox before the energetic rebirth. It's like your spirit saying, "We can't take this weight into the next level, so let the tears come. Let the silence stretch. Let the old stories lose their power." Because beyond that emotional storm, something radiant is waiting, a level of peace that doesn't come from control, but from surrender. You're being asked to trust yourself again, to listen to your intuition, even when logic calls it madness, to follow the pull of your soul, even when you can't explain why. Every time you ignore your intuition, you delay your alignment. Every time you trust it, the universe opens a door that logic could never find. And that's what this supermoon is, a portal of trust. It's a mirror reminding you that you were never off course. You were just outgrowing directions that couldn't contain your expansion. Over the next few days, you may feel like life is testing you, but it's not testing your strength. It's testing your trust. Can you trust the pause? Can you trust the redirection? Can you trust that confusion is part of clarity being born? If you can hold faith when everything feels uncertain, you'll cross this energetic bridge lighter than you've ever been. And on the other side, synchronicities will start flooding in. Signs, symbols, messages, perfect timing. The kind of alignment that feels too precise to be random. You'll notice doors opening where there were walls, people reappearing at the exact right moment. Opportunities matching your inner truth, not your old ambition. That's the reward of surrender. That's what happens when you stop chasing and start allowing. The supermoon doesn't just illuminate, it activates. It rewires your nervous system to operate from peace instead of panic, from love instead of lack. And once you learn to hold that frequency, nothing and no one can take it away. Because now, your power doesn't come from what happens around you. It comes from what's anchored within you. So if your world feels uncertain tonight, breathe. You're not losing direction. You're being refined. You're not falling apart. You're being reassembled by light. The moon isn't against you. It's guiding you. Through every pause, every silence, every emotional wave, it's whispering one truth. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're not waiting for alignment. You are the alignment. As this powerful energy continues to unfold, something remarkable begins to stir beneath the surface of ordinary awareness. The clarity that once felt out of reach starts shaping itself into true direction. The weight you've been carrying slowly turns into wisdom, and the confusion that once clouded your mind begins to organize itself into quiet understanding. Each realization, each small emotional shift starts syncing with a deeper rhythm your soul has been whispering for years. You might catch yourself feeling unexpectedly light, or sense that silence now feels sacred instead of empty. That's not random. That's harmony returning to your field. This supermoon didn't appear to show you your brokenness. It arrived to remind you that wholeness was never lost. It's been resting under the noise all along. The outer world may still feel unpredictable, but your inner world is settling into balance. Your nervous system is finding a new foundation, one that no longer runs on fear, attachment, or illusion. It's a quiet transformation, but a powerful one, like the ocean reshaping the shore without a sound. You might feel called to simplify, fewer words, fewer distractions, fewer commitments. Yet, somehow, everything that remains begins to carry infinite meaning. You start to perceive energy before form, intention before action, truth before image. That's what real awakening looks like. Not a dramatic explosion of light, but a gentle return to alignment. As the moonlight continues to weave into your being, you begin to understand that spirituality isn't about escaping life. It's about seeing it so clearly that illusions lose their power. You start forgiving yourself for every time you mistook distraction for purpose. You stop glorifying suffering as a symbol of depth and start realizing that peace isn't the absence of struggle. It's the art of staying centered through it. Your relationships begin to shift too. Those who match your higher vibration simply get it. No explanations needed. Conversations flow effortlessly or fade away without tension. That's not rejection. That's energetic clarity. You're no longer chasing people or forcing understanding. You're standing where you belong, letting resonance sort everything for you. The right souls will feel calm, not chaotic. The right paths will feel familiar, not forced. The right choices will feel peaceful, not pressured. This supermoon refined your inner compass, and from here on, it'll be nearly impossible to ignore its truth. Even your intuition is evolving. It won't just whisper softly anymore. It'll speak through your entire being. A sudden wave of calm will confirm what's right. A tightness in your body will reveal what's not. The more you listen, the faster your outer world rearranges around truth. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.